The committee team leads are going to come up within the next hour and give you a little kind of report presentation of what they've done. So kind of a behind the scenes story of how most of the projects and initiatives came about. So we're going to start with the project implementation committee. I could be doing a presentation on their behalf. Oga Chairman, can we have the honor of your presence? So, are you going to scroll down?
Yeah, I'm going to scroll down.
Okay, so you're going to use it. Let's try, are you okay? If you push this back, it's going to go right. That's what we're trying to do. Can we move this in such a way that the laptop will...
It's fine.
I want to move the connector so the laptop doesn't work.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Ikechukwu Agbim, class of 1983, and I wasn't supposed to make this presentation, but the chairman of the PIC couldn't make it, Dr. Innocent Ogwe. So I'm stepping up as a member of the committee to make the presentation. I also apologize on behalf of the committee because there is no PowerPoint slides. The committee is currently in the middle of implementation of one of the aspects of the water project. So all that's going on in the forum now is exchange of information, ideas on the water project. So I'm going to start by talking about the PIC, as it's called, Project Implementation Committee. The PIC was set up by the president of AFGCEAA, to take care of implementation of projects. But that's not the only role we have. The major role of the PIC is to study and analyze initiatives, infrastructure initiatives at the school that the alumni can undertake. Present such analysis in a way that makes sense to the alumni and work out a plan of implementation that actually works and that makes it very transparent. So that's in a nutshell what the PIC was set up to do initially. So project selection, project analysis, presentation of the projects, and project implementation. I'm going to focus now on what the PIC has done this last year, from the time we went for the UK reunion to today. The first project is the renovation of the SS2, now SS3 classroom blocks, which you guys can see here. Basically, this is an existing building that's opposite the two-story building. The roof was removed, the windows and doors were changed, rooms painted, new electrical, new fixtures, and new floor tiles. And like was rightly mentioned by the alumni liaison officer, was handed over in January of this year. So that's one project that was completed by the PIC. You can see the pictures, the interior photographs. Then I'm going to step back and talk about the last Houston reunion. During the last Houston reunion, we identified water as one of the biggest challenges at FGCE. That presentation was made here in this building, and all alumni presidents agreed that
if you want me to do,
there should be an effort
just let me know
by all alumni
I didn't feel like
or by the PIC to find ways to solve
because they all have
or
prepared
to
statements.
reduce the water problem in the schools.
Okay, I will have to hand.
The PIC got to work and started a process of study of what the water problem was really. Innocent, Oliver Cake actually, sent a group of engineers to the school and they did all types of studies, trying to find if borehole was possible, if a stream water capitulation was possible, and other ways that we can actually get water and make it available to the students. Long story short, at the end of the day, we found out that the two best sources of water in the school that is feasible, sustainable, and practical is roof water collection and trying to pay encouragement money to the Enugu State Water Corporation to send water into the school periodically. So the PIC engaged in discussing with the Enugu State Water Corporation. We've been able to get more frequent water supply into the reservoir at the gate, but it's not regular because it's always contingent on availability of water, availability of power. The water gets pumped from Oji River area all the way to Enugu. That is the way we get water in the school. So that has been a challenge. So the next best source of water, which is roof water collection, which gives us near potable water, was also looked into. And there were measures taken, which I'm going to describe now, to address ways of increasing water capacity available to students through collecting water from the roofs and piping them and sending it to through a filtration system that can now be distributed to the dining hall and dormitories. So a picture here, you can see students that go outside the school premises to fetch water from a nearby stream. And this is the quality of water that they actually get. You see clearly, this water is not drinkable. It's got a color to it, and I'm sure it has all kinds of microorganisms in it. So in furtherance of this works, we looked into, did some analysis on rainwater harvesting. How much rain do we have in Enugu? What if we collect all the water from all the roofs in Enugu? Is it going to be in the school? Is it going to be sufficient to provide water for the students year round? So one of our team members, Lawrence Okorafor, who's an expert in that area, did a rainwater analysis for rainwater harvesting. And the determination is that we have enough water in Enugu, but we don't have enough. We have enough water, enough roofs in the school to collect water from, but we don't have the storage capacity to collect enough water to last through the dry season months. So this is a study of the monthly water rainfall in Enugu. And we now went to work to look at the storage systems already available in the school. We looked at the reservoir at the gate. We looked at the roofs that we can collect water from and their condition. And we also looked at ways of harnessing the water that falls on the roof, sending it to the reservoir that we already have, and before the reservoir gets full, pumping it up to the overhead tank at the library. So that from that point, which is one of the highest points in the school, the water can be distributed by gravity to all parts of the school. This is a diagram of the school. This schematic is actually a water distribution proposed as part of the water master plan for AFGCEAA. In doing this, we actually broke the school down into clusters. We have a cluster of roofs near the gate, which is the first phase. So the goal is to collect water from all the roofs near the gate, send the water into the reservoir, pump the water to the overhead tank, and use that water in the overhead tank for distribution to the dining, to the kitchen, and to the dormitory. This is, you see a picture of Engineer Elias Igwebu, who is a member of the PIC. He's on ground in Enugu, and he's the one that's leading the implementation of the water project. This is the overhead tank near the library. This is where we hope to pump the water to, and from there distribute it through new pipes into different sections of the school. This is also the top of the tank. So basically what we had to do was to go and look at the tanks, both the reservoir and the overhead tanks, see what the condition there and see what type of repairs they need, and see the type of piping that needs to be done to get this water to where they need to be. So these are photographs of the reservoir at the gate. This is the interior picture of the reservoir. There were some micro cracks that will have to be filled. And this is also another photograph of the reservoir. So what is the PIC doing now in terms of water? Like I said, the first phase of the water project is to collect water from the roofs of the cluster of buildings near the school gate, send out water into the reservoir near the school gate, and before that gets full, pump it up using solar pumps up to the overhead tank for further distribution. So the UK alumni is sponsoring this part of the project. We bought the supplies, the solar panels, the pumps. Some of them were ordered from Germany, from England. The installation is ongoing as we speak. The solar panels are being installed on the roofs, on the roof of the gate structure. And the pumps are also being installed simultaneously. So basically what this scheme is, this first part of the water initiative is to basically get these solar panels up and running, get the water to go into the overhead tanks by collecting roof water, sending it, to the reservoir, sending it to the overhead tank, and building a pipe system that takes water to the dining hall and the 2 male dormitories with a filtration system in between. So by the time the students get the water, it's going to be potable, it's going to be drinkable. That is the goal of the first phase of this water project, being sponsored by the UK alumni. Total budget for this is 17,915,100 naira. That is what the commitment is so far, the budgetary commitment so far for this water project. And like I said, the UK alumni feels confident that we'll be able to do it, especially if all pledges made at the union are redeemed. Another project that I want to talk about briefly is a solar project that we did at the school this past year. The initiative for the solar lighting project for the dining hall was done to provide electricity, to provide lighting for students for prep. And that project has been completed. Unfortunately, I don't have any information on it on this file. But basically, it involved creating light fixtures, putting a bank of solar panels on the roof, and having a bank of batteries that power those lights, and having a few outlets for charging small devices within the dining hall. It's been completed, it's been working, and we have a way of monitoring it online. I'm gonna go right back to the water project because it's really, really important. It's the UK alumni is sponsoring phase 1, but there are so many other parts of it that need to be done. That is something that we want to push to the Nigerian alumni, the national alumni in Nigeria, to adopt as a fundraising project for this year's reunion. We feel that the water problem at AFGCEAA, it's a big one. And it's not something that any one alumni group can handle. So we feel that something that is big enough for the entire alumni all over the world to embrace and handle. Now, what the global PIC has done, and which will be published very soon, is to develop what's called the FGCE Water Master Plan. The summary of the master plan is a series of projects, a series of water projects geared towards having a perfect water supply system for FGCE. Perfect in the sense that it's sufficient and is also sustainable and costs the least amount of money and doesn't involve too many moving parts. The wish is that the desire of the plan is that we can actually have most of the large roofs in the school fitted with water collection systems. Secondly, we have a series of underground reservoirs spread out all across the school that will contain the water so collected and have them available for servicing, for piping or for distribution during the dry season. And thirdly, to have a distribution network of pipes that will service and that will help to distribute this water throughout the school. So the water master plan, like I said, will be presented during the Nigerian reunion with a goal to hopefully getting buy-in from alumni globally to support it and to be part of making FGC water sustainable. So with that, I'm going to end my presentation and call for questions. If anybody has any questions, real quick. Go ahead.
I'm sure everything will work on that. Why can't we have boreholes? I'm just wondering.
Okay, let me address that issue. The Chinese companies and several other companies who have done borehole study at the school found that there's a large coal belt that is several meters thick that the drill bits of the conventional borehole machines cannot penetrate. So that becomes an issue. Even though I will tell you that there's a set, I think it's a 8 set, that feel that there's a place in the school where there's that coal belt is not as thick, and they're hoping that they can pass through it. If they do, and if that works, then we're going to have, that's going to be another, really good breakthrough in solving the water problem. The issue is that with the type of funds we have, we want to invest in something that we're sure of. We don't have 6 million naira to drill a borehole and then we'll come back next year and tell the alumni, oh, that's 6 million naira that we got in donations. We drilled, but we couldn't get water. So what we've been doing is really investing on what we're sure of. Roof water, we're very sure. In fact, there was even a better suggestion to get water by drilling horizontally from the stream very close to the school, because that stream has water year round. Problem again is that you're dealing with the community. And anytime those boys in the community say you have to give them 100,000 naira or 1 million, and if you don't give them, they'll snatch out the pipes, and that's the end of it. So because we are asking for donations, and we don't want to tell any long story, that is what the PIC doesn't want to come back every year and say, oh, that money you guys gave us, we invested it, but we don't have water, there's a problem, there's a wahala. The thing get like. Nobody wants to do that. So we're trying to invest on things that we're sure of. Now, if the 88 set is able to tap into that coal belt and get water, then that's good for the school. Then we can also key into it that the water master plan is designed such that wherever the source of water is, we can make it work, we can send it into the system, to the piping system, and have water distributed to the students.
So we've taken rooftop collection. What is the thought about lead poisoning?
The water that we collect from the roofs are going to be collected from roofs such as this. Let me school see. So this is an example. We're not collecting water from rusted roofs. We're not collecting water we're collecting water from roofs that are in good condition, like this roof. We'll collect water from the metal part of the roof and set it down pipes. So we're also careful to, because the issue is that roof water is really good water, because the worst thing that can be in it is dissolved gases and some dissolved dust. But the reality is that it's better than stream water, it's better than most other types of water. And we have a reverse osmosis, we have a proposal for a reverse osmosis filtration system, which brings the water to 99% potability. So people can basically fetch that water and drink it, or use it for any other uses. So that's where we are. Yeah, I'm told I have 5 more minutes. Any other questions? Go ahead.
Possibly I might have missed when you said that you had mentioned that we're going to pump the water to the tanks around the male hostel. Is there any plan to supply the female hostel also?
Yes. The water will be pumped to supply points and tanks at the male hostel area, dining, and male hostel and dining. Now, the second phase of the water implementation plan, the water master plan, is to do an underground pipe towards the female dormitories. So the third phase is the classrooms, fourth phase is the staff quarters. So that's just an idea of the phases of the water project.
Well, was there any particular reason why the male hostels took precedence over the female
Well,
hostels?
yeah, very good question. Now, you guys know where the dining is. You guys know where the dining hall is. Our first goal was actually to get the water from the old refectory, where the overhead tank is, to the dining. And you can't do that without passing the upper male dormitory block. And once you get to the dining, you're close to the other male dormitory block. So something has to be done first. So that was how that came about. We were not trying to be, but it's just because we needed the first place they need drinking water is the dining, yeah. And that dining is in between the two male dormitories. Any other question before I run out of time?
I didn't hear his question. What was his question?
His question is, why did we choose to send water to the male dormitories first before the female dormitories?
Well, that's a great question.
Just two more questions.
You mentioned that an option was going to the city water.
Enugu State Water Corporation, yeah.
How far did we go with that? Because I
Yes.
think that's the best option.
Yes,
We can be able to sustain a maintenance fee to them.
Yes.
To make sure they give us water.
we did that and we had a meeting with them. What happened was that they agreed that they would send water to the school twice a week. And what it means is that those 2 days a week, the water goes into, remember they ration the water also. They don't have enough water for the entire Enugu metropolis. It's not sufficient. The water comes from Oji River. That is why they have those boreholes. So if you're driving along the express, you see pumping stations along the road. That's what those pumping stations are. So they could only come into 2 days a week. But the problem is that on those 2 days that they have on their schedule to send water to the school, there might not be power. Something might break down, and so on and so forth. So the realities of the Nigerian circumstance kick in, and that is why that has not been embraced as much as. Even the initial study period that we give them some money, we still didn't get water for about 2 months. So that is the challenge with that.
Yeah, one more question.
Sure? Any other question? Maybe one more before.
Why do we have to give them money to go to water corporation?
Nigeria.
Sorry, we were going through an experimental phase. Let me tell you why we did that. We needed to test the overhead tank to see if it was leaking. And we needed a volume of water that we could not get otherwise. And the only way we could do that was to pay them some money to send water to the school during that study period so that we can pump water into the overhead tank, stay there, monitor it, to see if there are leaks, see if there are leaks in the pipes going in or the pipes coming out. So that's why we had to do that. We just had to do it. Because the other option would have been to get over 100 tankers to come to the school and find a way to send water up that tank, which was not possible. Yeah, possible.
And what was the result? Any leaks?
Yeah, there were some minor leaks. There were some valves that were bad that we replaced. That was done way back. That was part of one of the initial things we did to make the tanks not leak, and also to make sure that the piping system was going to be able to handle the pressure that would come from the water tanks once it was filled up.
I think you guys have done a wonderful job.
Yes, you have.
Chairman.
Chairman.